Israel is renewing its calls on Hamas to surrender as the military launched new strikes on Gaza City over the weekend. The strike destroyed 2 high-rise buildings in the city's urban center, where many were said to be sheltering. The military said civilians were warned in advance of the attacks and that these buildings were being used by Hamas, an accusation the militant group denied. Another overnight strike took place at a school in Gaza City, which housed displaced people. The CBC's Sasha Petrosic is in Jerusalem tracking the latest on this for us this morning. Sasha, what more can you tell us about this latest offensive?
Well, it has been ramping up as we have been seeing. Israel refers to these targets as super targets, and obviously they have been much larger, they have been much more visible, and the damage seems to be greater than we have seen in other parts of Gaza City so far. A school was hit overnight. A lot of people were sheltered there. We don't have reports of how many may have been injured or even killed. But obviously, you know, as people have been going through trying to collect their belongings, the mattresses, the blankets, some of this covered in blood, they have had to try to consider whether they should be staying in the area or not. But certainly people who are there have been worried about what all of this has done. Many of them have moved several times over the past almost 2 years of this conflict from one end of Gaza to the other. This is one man that we spoke to, Adam Al-Zard.
ليش جرى هيك مش عارف. عندنا حماس فيش، عندنا جهاد إسلامي فيش، عندنا مقاومة فيش.
He's saying, why did this happen? I don't know. There is no Hamas here. There's no Islamic Jihad in the school. There's no resistance. We're all civilians, he says. We're running from death. We go to the south and they kill us. We come here and they kill us. So this is the sentiment that many people have had over the past months. Now, Israel is using this as a way to go after Hamas. As you mentioned, it claims that Hamas is in these buildings. It has infrastructure there. Hamas denies that. But it is also using this as a campaign to signal to people in Gaza that they need to get out of the way before the major operation starts, which is expected any day now. There's 1 million people or so in Gaza City. It is the largest center of population in Gaza, but the Israeli military figures that only about 10% of those people, 100,000, have actually moved out. The rest are staying in there. Israel is dropping leaflets and putting out messages saying, get out now. But people don't seem to be listening, partly because they feel there is nowhere else in Gaza that is actually safe to go to.
Meanwhile, Sasha, we know that families of hostages and their supporters, they continue their calls for those hostages to be released from Gaza. There were rallies, I understand, in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. What were they saying there?
Yeah, we are seeing the rallies continue. A little unusual. There was a big rally here in Jerusalem last night. Normally they are in Tel Aviv, but also in other parts of Israel. The vast majority of Israelis want some sort of a deal to wrap up this war, especially so that the hostages can come home. That's who was at these rallies, tens of thousands of people. They are demanding that the government negotiate a deal so that some 20 or so living hostages, believed to be living hostages, be released. They're worried that this ramp up in the attack is going to risk killing these hostages because many of them are believed to be in the Gaza City area. This is the kind of thing that they are saying there.
I think it's criminal to send more soldiers into Gaza. I think the government needs to take responsibility and resign and bring the hostages back and end the war.
I am mortified by the fact that the Israeli army is conquering Gaza right now. For the hostages, for the soldiers, for the people in Gaza, this is a political war.
That's the general feeling. Now, as far as the military attack is concerned, Israel has had some issues with morale among conscripts and some equipment issues, especially because Germany has imposed a partial blockade on equipment going into an embargo going into Israel. Parts for tanks, for instance, are scarce right now. But Israel says it's going in. The defense minister put out a statement on social media saying, "We have started."
The CBC's Sasha Petrosic in Jerusalem.